here. We are on the road again for our adventure series because I have figured out that great travel is not about constantly searching for healthy food. Way out here in the middle of nowhere, there is none. So if you're plant-based and want some new ideas, or if you're just looking for adventure, stick around. My goal is to win you over. We can all appreciate great health. Today we are in the middle of Crater Lake National Park. Here's the map. We are going to go check out the United States, this nation's deepest lake. We'll show you a bunch of footage. Crater Lake is located in North America and was established as a national park in 1902. Oregon is between California and Washington states. The lake lies about 100 miles east of the Pacific Ocean and is part of the Cascade Mountain Range. The drive in and around Crater Lake is easy during the summer season, but because it has higher elevation, the roads are not accessible during much of the year. Portland, Oregon is the state's largest city and home to an international airport. From Portland, it's about a 4-hour drive to Crater Lake. Oregon is a nature lover's paradise. While Crater Lake is Oregon's only national park, Oregon features over 350 state parks, national forests, and wildlife refuges. The lake was formed when Mount Mazama erupted nearly 8,000 years ago. This created a caldera, or another term for it is a volcanic basin. Before the eruption, Mount Mazama was 12,000 feet high, but it had massive areas of magma stores underneath its surface. When the mountain erupted, it essentially collapsed into the earth, creating a basin that is 1,943 feet deep. The snowdrifts are epic during the winter months, and it's interesting to contrast that with the fire and the magma that created the lake basin. The area surrounding the lake gets buried in snow. Storms from the Pacific Ocean bring an average of 42 feet of snow annually at the park headquarters. In March, for example, the average snow depth is 115 inches. The park's tremendous snowfall is a result of its position at the crest of the Cascade Mountain Range. Of course, that makes the lake cold too. The surface temperature stays in the 30s from January to April. It is a mountain lake. We are at the top of a mountain. If you think about the term rim drive, you are driving around the rim of the lake to look down into Crater Lake. One little fact that I just saw, which is really interesting, is if they took all the ash that happened when Crater Lake was formed, it would cover the entire state of Oregon with 8 inches of ash. So right now, I just want to point out that we are here on October 1st, and it is really foggy. So foggy that we cannot see the lake yet. It's about 11 a.m. We are waiting, the sun is out, we are waiting for it to burn off, but that is one of the risks of coming up to the top of a mountain and expecting to have a perfect experience. It's still perfect, but we're gonna have to wait for a little bit. Maybe we'll hit the cafe, the visitor center, go in and look for some coffee. drive around Crater Lake is 33 miles. There's West Rim Drive and there's East Rim Drive. There are a lot of different pullouts so you can look at different views of the lake. What they recommend is about 2 to 3 hours to do it well and to kind of check every different area out. In the summer months, it's a lot easier to do this drive because once the weather hits, we're pretty high elevation and the road will get snowed in. They'll start closing it. Crater Lake is nearly 2,000 feet deep and over 5 miles in diameter. And that makes it the deepest lake in the United States. And as you look at the water, you also see steep rock walls that rise up to 2,000 feet above the surface of the water. And much of these walls are not covered by typical mountain trees or vegetation. They're just rock, sand. And this is another reminder that you're viewing a collapsed volcano, which is really cool. So the top of the mountain may have imploded or collapsed into a basin, but we can see another peak right kind of in the middle of the lake off to the side, and that is Wizard Island. During the summer months, you can take park-sanctioned boat cruises and spend a couple hours on the island. You will need to hike the Cleetwood Cove Trail to get to the boat. You hike down to the dock. It's a 2.2-mile round-trip trail that has a 700-foot elevation, so we'll definitely go do that. Take some video and you can check it out for yourself. I am so jazzed, so energized. There are like 30 overlooks as you go around the lake. You can just pull off, great little parking lots. Some are just right along the edge of the road here of the Rim Drive. And a lot of them, for people who may have some trouble getting around, are just, this is like the perfect drive. Here's another one. We have to stop at all of them. That lake is just like neon blue. It's the purity of the water, and from this overlook sign in the park, longer wavelengths of sunlight are absorbed by the water. Blue light strikes the water, is scattered, and redirected back from the lake depths to our eyes, giving us this intense blue. What makes Crater Lake water so pure? The average clarity depth is 103 feet, but the record is 134 feet in August of 1994. There are no rivers, streams, or any other inlets that carry sediment or mineral deposits into the lake, so it maintains its purity. It's been filled just with rain and snowpack over hundreds of years. The Parks Department has rules, as you can see from this sign, about any other crafts entering the lake. So we have just done the complete circle around the lake, 33 miles. It took us a few hours and we are ready for lunch. Can't wait. So, you know, one thing that I tied together was we are at the world's cleanest lake and we're eating the world's cleanest food, whole food, plant-based. So I've got a couple things in the cooler. We're gonna find a great spot to have lunch, and I'll tell you what I made. This is our trusty lunch cooler at our last adventure. You can see it's big enough for a large lunch for two. When you're eating whole food plant-based, you eat quite a bit. My go-to are wraps with a ton of flavorful veggies. They're so portable. Another idea that works really well is to do themes. So like Asian, Mediterranean, Mexican. So whether it's a wrap and or a big salad, you'd add the complementary flavors and vegetables. Mostly I stick to whole foods and I prep them with fresh herbs, sauces, spiced blends. You end up eating fresh whole food that tastes, shall I say, insanely delicious. Today, I've made a substantial salad with a cranberry poppy seed theme. I added a huge high-quality chopped apple, some sweet onions, some fresh jalapenos, a bit of vegan feta just for a little extra. I really want the food I make to be better than any typical meat or cheese-oriented meal because it is so much better for our health and for the planet. So that's the goal. As we have been on the road for a couple of weeks, so gone are my, all the special sauces and all the pre-prep that I made. We're now working out of like little grocery stores. Did you get that lodge in the background? That's so awesome. Anyway, the last grocery store we went to was Tonopah, Nevada. And so I'm exclusively working out of these little tiny grocery stores, right? Like it's just completely random. So one of the things that works really well when you're doing that is to go to the produce aisle. Almost every grocery store in America has like the little salad kits, those kinds of kits, right? So they're kind of a starter and they have lots of extras. That's what the basis of this one is this kale salad with Brussels sprouts and all this stuff. But that's not going to be enough for you, not even close. So what you want to do is, I have like for this one, for example, I chopped up a whole apple, some red onions. I also put some starch in. This one has basmati rice. So again, go to the grain and the rice aisle and they have shelf stable, some really like high quality stuff these days. So this one is basmati rice. And so you want your starch in there. So like if you got a Mexican themed salad kit, what you would want to put in there is maybe like a bag of frozen corn, a ton of chopped cilantro, those kinds of things. So anyway, that's what we're having today is this huge salad. I have a couple of other things. I have some treats at the end, granola bars for dessert. So that's what we're doing today for Crater Lake National Park. We're starting the Cleetwood Cove Trail. It's a steep trail down. It's 2.2 miles round trip to see the world's cleanest lake water. This is the only legal way to see it or to get close to it. All right, we're heading down the Cleetwood Cove Trail. The first part of it is asphalt, super easy. And now we're into some sand. That lake is just like neon blue. As you go down this trail, it's like you just can't wait to touch the water and get to it up close. Whoa. The smell of pine is intense here. These rocks, this is such a great trail. Look at that. Just sit there for a moment. You know, I kind of wasn't expecting this forest-like trail. Really pretty easy. For some reason, I was expecting like going down the side of a volcano with rocks and everything. Okay, we do have some geological risks in taking this trail, but who cares? It is so worth it. This is probably like one of the prettiest trails I've been on, just because of that water. You're just heading down. It's so exciting. Let's take a look at this trail. See, not bad. It's a little switchbacky. You know, of course, they have to put signs for everything. Leather. Don't throw rocks, you guys. A boat. I could probably launch that. As you get closer to the lake on this trail, you can see how clear it is. Again, the clarity is 143 feet. They do not want kayaks, floaties, or anything in this lake. And there's a reason why. You can swim in it. Looks like we have a couple swimmers down here. Looks so fun.